Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Katie. I am your host for the Success in 5. The topic is your team here at Real Wealth Academy. Today we're going to be interviewing a 1031 exchange specialist, Cindy here. So let's go ahead and get started with your Success in 5. So to get our interview started, I would first like to say, Cindy, thanks so much for being here. Can you go ahead and explain what is a 1031 exchange specialist?
Thanks for having me. Well, first off, if I can start with the 1031 exchange, I just want to explain that that is a tax code that the IRS allows the investor to defer their capital gains taxes if they sell their investment property and reinvest into another investment property. Now, I'm the 1031 exchange expert, but actually what I am is a qualified intermediary. And so in order to do a 1031 exchange, you have to go through a qualified intermediary to facilitate the exchange.
Awesome. So for a beginner real estate investor, how would you describe a qualified intermediary?
So when an investor sells their property and they want to do a 1031 exchange, the IRS says you can exchange properties, but between the process, you cannot touch the funds. So that's where the qualified intermediary comes in. So we basically hold the funds during the process of the exchange from the time you sell your investment property to the time you buy your replacement property.
Well, this is all great information so far, and my next question in the interview is, why would an investor want to work with a company like Asset Preservation, Inc.?
Because Asset Preservation is a leading national qualified intermediary. We've been around since 1990. We are a subsidiary of Stewart Title, which is a publicly traded company. So the security is there. There's security because once we're holding the funds, you want to know that the funds are going to be there when we replace the property. The investor does not have access to the funds during the exchange. We're experts. We deal with a lot of complicated exchanges to the most simple exchange where you're just selling one property and buying another. And service. This is all we do, and we're very quick at it, and we're very efficient, and we're very thorough.
So moving right along, our next question is going to be, Cindy, what makes a good qualified intermediary?
One important thing to know about qualified intermediaries is that this is not a federally regulated industry. So anyone can be a qualified intermediary. So it could be a national company. It could be your next door neighbor. I mean, just because a qualified intermediary just means you're not disqualified. Do your due diligence on your qualified intermediary because you want to know where the funds are going to go. Are they reinvesting the funds? Are they commingling the funds? Do they segregate the accounts? Let's say the investment fund that's acting as a qualified intermediary, well, what are they going to do? They could be reinvesting your funds. And if they make a bad investment, what happens if they go bankrupt? And if this is not federally regulated, well, you're in bad luck. You know, you should have done your due diligence on your qualified intermediary. And also, you want to ask: Are they bonded? Do they have insurance? There's questions about your funds. You know, we could be holding hundreds of thousands. We could be holding millions. So you want to know what's going to happen to the funds that you place with the qualified intermediary.
So Cindy, my next question for you is going to be, as a real estate investor, what are some questions to bring to your qualified intermediary?
As mentioned earlier, you want to know, is the money commingled, and if the qualified intermediary has insurance, if they've gotten fidelity bondage coverage, where's the money going? And also, the person that you speak to, are they responsive? The team that you work with, the qualified intermediary, do they know the IRS guidelines? Can they handle a complex deal? Because there's really complex exchanges. And so if your exchange flips to an improvement exchange, a more complicated one, are they knowledgeable? Do they have the experience and the expertise to handle those type of exchanges?
All of this has been extremely informative, Cindy. Thank you so much. Our final question is going to be, what should a client bring to you whenever they first come to you to ask you to be their qualified intermediary?
Well, first, I want to get to know the client. I want to know what's going on and understand what they're selling, who the taxpayer. I want to know about the property, so I can qualify for the exchange, because there are certain instances where you cannot do a 1031 exchange. It does not qualify for a 1031 exchange. So I do need to understand the client and the investor and what they're doing. To open up the exchange, I will need a copy of the purchase contract and a copy of the title commitment or a deed.
Thank you guys for watching. Cindy, this was such a great interview. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're also following us on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to put all of Cindy's information in the link below. Make sure to give us a like and comment if you enjoyed this interview. And again, this was your Success in 5.